We are the proud new owners of this train wreck of a property. Check this thing out. How awesome is that? Wait a second, you're probably wondering why the hell I'm happy to have bought this at a foreclosure auction instead of buying something like this over here. Well, that's understandable. And if you're wondering why, you are in the right place. This is the great time for you to hit like, subscribe, and maybe drop a comment telling me that I'm absolutely out of my mind. You wouldn't be the first one. My best experience at going to a foreclosure auction is often the experience where you're buying a house absolutely nobody wants. And this is not the exception to the rule at all. This place isn't just blighted, almost worthy of being torn down, possibly haunted. It doesn't need a wrecking ball, it needs a priest kind of a place. This is something we're gonna make bank on, and the neighborhood is gonna love us for it. So let me explain a little bit. When you buy a property like that really nice one over there, there's not a lot of ways to go up. There's no work for you to do, there's no value to add. It's already really nice. And if that's something you wanna buy, and that's what you wanna do, that's great and more power to you. But what I'm looking to do is to do something that's a little bit harder. I wanna buy something that nobody wants because I can make the most impact with it. And Matt and I have been doing this for a really long time. In fact, we wrote the book, How You Can Go to an Auction, buy a house that nobody wanted for $80,000, and then either renovate it yourself or put it in the hands of somebody that is looking to renovate a property and a new project for themselves and turn it in to the property you're seeing across the street. Before we get inside, let's do a quick walk around of the exterior of this gem. I'm calling this the Smurf house. Hopefully we don't get trademark infringement on that, something like that. Let's go take a look around the outside. It features an overgrown front yard and a couple of cars that come with it, I guess, for free. How many shell casings do you think you're gonna find in the back of this Nissan? Some of the things we noticed at auction, and you're hopefully gonna notice the more you've read our book and watched our channel, is some of the work that this house needs. Now, you might just see some flaky paint, but what I see are storm windows with wood windows on the inside. Leads me to believe they've never done any real updates, and the place has never been made lead safe for kids under 6. This is a multi-family house. This is basically set up to be a property that's gonna have tenants in it. And in this state, Massachusetts, you're gonna need to make sure that that home has a lead certificate that it's safe for kids to live in if you have a family with kids under 6 in it. Now, this is a neighborhood, a lot of backyards that are adjoining to this. Look at the rear of this property and imagine what the neighbors have to deal with, seeing not just a property looking all disheveled like this, but what comes with the territory. I was approached by neighbors letting me know that people were coming and going from this house all hours of the day and night for years. When we got the place, it wasn't even locked. I mean, there was no reason nobody could just walk right into the house and do whatever they wanted inside. And boy, did they. Let's go take a look inside and let's see just how torn up this joint is. Again, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the things we show on our channel. We're gonna go in this house. This was squatter occupied. So let me tell you, coming through here for the first time was actually something I was pretty apprehensive about. And well, you're gonna see exactly how squatters were living when it was occupied. So we're doing our best to secure the place. But the house is in, pretty rough shape. You got buckled floors, literally ceiling and everything kind of peeling and falling down. I mean, I know I joked about this place needing a priest, but it really does look like somebody hosted an exorcism in here. There is paraphernalia throughout this place. I found a variety of knives, machetes, everything all over the house. What really sucks is this used to be a really nice property, I'm sure, about 30, 40, I don't know, 50, 60 years ago. Probably going back. This is going to be a beautiful home again for somebody. And we love setting people up for these things because this could be a perfect house hack for somebody looking to buy a multi-family home that they can live in and have other apartments in it that they can rent out. Now, the great thing with doing something like that is it reduces their expenses, it lowers their cost to cover their mortgage. Check out this bathroom. Boy, these guys were they were living in pretty nice conditions over here. Look at that. Check out that stereo. And of course, a smoke detector that at least has a battery in it, kind of.
So can you tell me more about what you're doing for the neighborhood and why?
So we're basically selling it to somebody, like I said, that is looking to do a rehab project. So this house is going to look like the one I was showing you across the street, and no longer looking like this. The neighbors are going to be super psyched about some of the progress we've been making here with getting the people out at least and securing the property, mainly because they have families and they have to live somewhere, and they really don't want to live next door to people who, you know, live like this and kind of engage in some of the activities that are clearly going on here. So step one is improving the security and safety of the neighborhood. Just the fact that you're not seeing random cars with windows shot out being parked here and in and out of here makes a big difference. The next thing is to get rid of the blight. First of all, this is the kind of property that attracts more people to the area that are comfortable with living in this type of situation, and nobody wants that. So we're going to put this house basically in the hands of a flipper, somebody who's looking for their next rehab project. They're going to get this place up to speed, and it's going to end up looking like the house, the nice one we started looking at, right across the street. We're going to make some money by doing that. In fact, we took a huge risk at foreclosure auction, and it looks like that risk is being paid off. Right now, we're selling this place for about twice what we paid, maybe a little bit more than twice what we paid for it when we bought it at auction. If you want to learn how you can do this stuff, we teach this every day, but I love to show it, not just have you read about it in our book. Who wants to see the basement? We did already have a quick walk through the house, so we know that there's no surprises waiting for us down here. But when Matt and I talk about how, you know, we make the area a little bit safer for people in the neighborhood, it doesn't just extend to the fact that there's going to be some really undesirable folks in and out of the area and in and out of the property. What it also means is it makes the home actually operate more safely. So one of the things taking over a property that's very problematic like this will do is it's going to help us make the home or get the home made up to code. Some of the problems you're going to see at these properties are people that are squatting these things often start really tampering and just monkeying around with critical systems. What you're seeing here is the heating system is spliced in to where they found some electrical power, and you can kind of see it behind this stick here. It's quite literally taped to a live wire that they were able to string along from upstairs somewhere. They did this because it's a multi-family home. Somehow they found that some electricity still flowed through one of the apartments, getting cobwebs in my hair, and so they used it so they could fire up the heating system. That's great and all, but this is begging for a disaster. Now, if this house catches fire and the squatters get out, that's amazing, good for them, right? But the problem is they don't have decent smoke detectors. Nobody's going to call 911 fast enough, and fires spread. So the neighbors could have their homes become victim of somebody who's jerry-rigging a heating system to run. Not to mention the first responders who pledge to show up to help in these kind of emergencies. So we have a lot of that kind of stuff, and where you see that, you're going to see a whole lot more. Like I said, smoke detectors that don't work, have been taken down, space heaters plugged in, and then things like this where asbestos is all sorts of disturbed. And this is what's called a snowman. I love showing this on our channel. Has anybody ever heard of a snowman? Have you ever built a snowman?
Wow. wrong channel.
Hey, we got to broaden our audience. Right? You know what's really fun though about looking at some of these properties and digging through homes that are 100 years old is some of the remnants of people living here decades past that actually used to clearly care about the property. So as we get over here, there's actually a little like a little workbench type area, and when you open some of this stuff, I'm sure you're going to see bits and pieces of things that have been here from maintaining the property from years ago. Old tools, pieces of heating systems. I actually noticed this over here. I think when I was recording on the live stream, I think I learned to type on one of these. It's an old IBM electric typewriter right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right, let's get the hell out of this basement because I'm the only one that's catching cobwebs because...
I'm too short?
Yeah, some of us
coming
on the channel, and I don't have to worry about it. So it's super exciting for us to be able to bring a property like this back to life directly or put it in the hands of somebody that is going to do it. And it's just a really nice thing to be able to do as part of the community as well. This is, our state, for better or for worse, and we like to be part of the solution while we're building a business. Some kind of bedroom stuff here. We got some makeshift bedrooms. And at some point, I'm not sure where the squatting ended or began. I feel like some of this stuff was here, was used and left behind, and then new people came in, kind of looted it, used it, and then moved on themselves. There was a room here somewhere.
It looks like someone was scratching, like trying to get out. I don't know. Ooh.
That's what it looks like at my house. From my rabbit.
Oh.
Do we look in the fridge? No, we never look in the fridge.
We always look in the fridge.
Never look in the fridge.
Look in the fridge.
We got a little second floor.
Question is, do we go out on the deck? Probably not on the back porch. Probably not.
Back porch. Not an intact piece of paint in this whole exterior.
Oh, no.
All right, let's find our way to the third floor. Let's go see what's up there. We're up on the third floor level, and this is basically be an attic. Yeah, the huge incense stick.
So talking about fire safety,
yeah,
look at this.
What's interesting about these third floors of these homes is most of them were like attic level, but they were finished off, and a lot of them were turned into, third floor apartments, even though the city never set them up that way, inspected them, or zoned them that way. So they'll have heating systems and things like that, but they won't have real kitchens, they won't have real bathrooms. Some of them do, but some of them were installed by just some random guy. There's no permits, there's no inspections, and that means it could be a potential safety issue. These things eventually, often, end in disaster. So an illegal kitchen, improper cooking, whatever it might be, leads to a house fire later on, and that just sucks for everybody. So one of the things I always like to see when I see a third floor like this is ways that we can combine it with the second floor to make it into one large apartment. Oh, look at this, we got some good stuff in here, Matt. We're just crushing it with cool stuff right here.
Oh, yeah.
New bedroom set.
Unfortunately, they're not a winner.
No, but you are. You're a winner in my book.
Oh.
The buyer that's buying it from us to renovate it, they're happy and are considering it a win.
Oh, look at that, we've got power.
As well, because look, they're going to turn around and make themselves a profit when they eventually sell the property.
Well, I think their goal is actually to rent it out, so they'll be doing well on that.
Well, they'll have equity in it, and they'll have created 2 new units for rentals in the city, making supply go up. So this is actually really interesting. Again, it's like a squatter was here and maybe just didn't come home one day. Their clothes are still hung up in the
squatter that's hanging up clothes.
They got extension cords kind of running around, power and stuff. They got partial electricity up here. They had a sound bar with no TV. So it's almost like somebody kind of came in, took whatever this guy had of value that they could toss in the back of their clapped out Honda Civic, and then they moved on. I mean, this is going to be a massive second and third floor rental apartment. It's going to be huge. Huge. Look at that. Yeah. I mean, it's
temp lighting.
You see a lot of this kind of stuff. This is a great example of a house that was, thankfully the place didn't catch on fire or have an actual accident, but out of just blind luck at this point. I mean, the stupidity of what was happening here, what was being allowed to go on for so long is mind-boggling. So again, I'm happy we got involved. We're actually doing a great thing by helping get this urban blight under control. It took a long time, I think, for the banks to get this to go to auction. I'm glad we took on the challenge because we know we're going to put it in the hands of somebody that's doing it the right way, and hopefully this will never happen again as long as this property is here. Matt and I love buying these kind of properties for a lot of different reasons, and one of the biggest things is the impact we can have on a street or a neighborhood. One of the best things about something like this is we're going to take this house, which is in absolute shambles, and make sure it gets put on track, made to look like that other nicely renovated house right across the street. And what I love being able to do with this is show you how you can do it too. Listen, not every foreclosure property is going to be a turnkey property. Not every foreclosure property is going to be something that just needs a little lipstick, maybe a coat of paint. It could be some real heavy lifting. And if you want to learn more about how to gauge if it's something that you should get into, how to bid correctly, or if it's something you should just absolutely run away from, you need to make sure you learn more about this. 1, you can follow our channel, subscribing here and asking questions in the comments. And 2, you can buy a copy of our book where we share our experience of going to thousands of auctions and buying hundreds of homes by picking up a copy of Foreclosures Unlocked. It's available on Amazon, shameless plug. And I hope to find out that in the comments you're telling me you love reading it. Thanks for tuning in and checking this thing out. We look forward to showing you our next project on our next video.